Welcome. Here's another video. This is actually Abernaty Farm here, in case you didn't know. And I just showed off a couple of different settlements I have thus far as I go through. Now, one thing I'd like to note about this place, go in the workshop mode here. There's a very large build area for this place actually. Kind of nice. As you see, I don't utilize a big chunk of it. As I found out, you can see it, there's a dead body there, that's a raider. This place was just recently attacked. But that's a spawn point for the enemies during an attack. So that's a consideration you might want to take into when building your places, is try to find out where the spawn point is, or if you do find out where the spawn point is later, go ahead and adjust your place accordingly. Now, me particularly, I had to go ahead and change the default fast travel location utilizing the little mat under resources miscellaneous here, because right about where that supply line settler is right now is where the actual default fast travel location is, which is as you see outside the defensive wall I built. It's basically on the other side of the defensive wall and you're staring point blank at it. So that's a consideration. Now here's my recruitment radio beacon, of course. I have these two defensive turrets set up here so far. And I set up an additional one on top of this large shack over here, and one on to the metal shack. I was playing around and built the metal shack to just see what it was like. And initially I thought, this thing is garbage. It absolutely does not help and work.
It's just past 10 p.m.
But I found out I was fiddling around with it, pleasantly surprised that it did function well in that spot over there. Of course, there's this large structure here is actually already in place here. Another thing to note is these here beds, they already are here initially, and they're assigned already to the Abernathy's, because there's three named settlers, the Abernaty family, when you initially get here and obtain it. Of course, you have to do a little mission to go ahead and get it, but these are assigned, so you can't move them initially. You can't scrap them. And that's not a mechanic that I actually mess around with, is assigning settlers to beds. I go ahead and let it just randomly pick. I just make sure that there's enough beds to cover the number of settlers or the number of potential settlers. And here is a little bathroom area. Back around the corner here, there's another bed. It was originally the one little ugly mattresses that sits on the ground. I scrapped that and I put a nicer bed in there. I'm going to go ahead and come out here. This crafting station comes as part of the default of this here. It's originally around the corner. I just moved it over here. There's the bell. Here's where I moved the default fast travel location to. There's of course the workshop. I've built the artillery unit. What do I do? Need to assign somebody to that.
11 p.m. out there.
And I think I have enough.
Nothing to report. Stay safe.
Now, Clarabelle over here does come also with the default, and this feed trought's already here, as well as this fence. There's actually a couple of these wire fences originally that stretch around this. I, of course, scrapped those I don't particularly like those. The only reason I left this is because Clarabelle is not quite cooperative and will tend to move in a large area around here. Because I like to set up the little market area here. And I do build the markets. But continue on around here. Originally, that chemistry crafting station is hanging out right here. I moved it. Now, as you can see, this is utilizing the shack foundation in order to go ahead and work around the elevation requirement. Because the large shack here is not just going to auto lock in place originally with that elevation there, but by putting this little shack foundation here, I could get it to actually register as being a fixable place. And I decided to attach, these are actually the really long stairs, and they extend quite down further into the ground. And I like these large wooden shacks because they actually have a large amount of area to place beds. Now normally I'd place an additional 2 beds up here, but I already have 20 beds spread out through the area. But in addition to that, they have this balcony area, this upper wall, this upper window here to see out, and this offers a good measure of protection if there is enemies coming from out this way, from protection from cocktails and grenades hitting you. You also have this additional one. In addition to that, you have this window.
It's midnight here at Radio
Still
Freedom.
able to fire out, or just to view out and enjoy the
Stay
view.
tuned for Minuteman
And it
Alerts.
offers measure protection from those grenades, of course. And a lot of times I utilize this large shack as part of my wall, so to speak, to block out enemies. Now, yes, there's some gaps there and stuff. But using this here shack foundation, if I wanted to, I could connect additional shack floors through the auto connect to build a platform in order to aid in placements of large shack walls or just regular walls and stuff. And it doesn't have to be in the middle of that there platform. It could be on the corner. You could build out this way, and then just go back in and either remove them or leave it or alter it as you so see fit. Originally there was a field of melons here, but I took those out because I'm not particularly fond of the melons. They have yet to find a use for them. Perhaps they do have a use later on, but I have a patch of them growing over at Sanctuary, so that should more than cover needs if it does arise later, hopefully. But coming in here into this here, this is the large shack under the metal, and I found this was actually really nice here.
You're tuned
This
to
is a
Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen. Nothing to report. Stay safe,
it's
people.
actually a small railing under wood, miscellaneous, and it snapped right into place there. So that was quite nice, because I was originally looking at this setup of there's an entrance here, there's an entrance right there, and then come over here there's a third entrance. I was trying to figure out, that's not so conducive to trying to build a wall or make it part of an existing kind of wall. Now if you want to build a large, and another thing I didn't particularly like about it was you can't pack as many beds in here as you can with the large wooden shack. But it is a lot more realistic that this would be like a one bed area and this would be kind of like a living room area. But I was fiddling around with it just to see what it was like, and I found this was actually worked out with that little
This is
small
Radio
railing there
Freedom, the voice
to help block this off and make this like a little
It's 1 a.m.
makeshift guard post.
Nothing new to report. Keep it tuned here for Minutemen alerts.
Now, while these aren't really decent enough kind of gun ports to shoot out, but it does offer a huge amount of protection from cocktails being thrown and grenades being thrown at you. And of course, I've set up this guard tower over here to give a better view of the area, as well as a better defensive. Then moving on back, because I'm actually planning on making this the market area, because the other area is actually pretty cram-packed if I try to wedge them all in there. And I've built a whole series of corn and carrots over here, because those are quite useful for crafting. Of course, there's some water pumps over this direction, and I have a couple more spread out.
This is Radio Freedom.
Oh, actually, I will have a couple more that I'll spread out later. Now this tomato field here came default, and I just left it alone. But for some reason, I'm not sure just yet. It is quite annoying. I do have a couple of them assigned already, but they're only producing 19 food, so I haven't. Not exactly sure what the issue is there. They should be producing more food than that, because there's definitely a lot more plants here. I've planted 24 so far, and for some reason it's just not cooperating. I haven't figured it out yet. I'll have to fill it around with it some more and try to find out. But yeah, this is a. Oh, of course, this cooking station was originally over there. I moved it over here.
Day, all across the Commonwealth. All quiet, which is how we like it.
And there's a little cat.
Stay safe out there, people.
Likes to hang out.
This is Radio Freedom.
I was hoping the dog meat would chase it around,
Keep it tuned here for
but no such luck. So that's what I have thus far. This place is still a lot of ways to grow because, as you see, there are only currently 6 settlers.